Hello, traveler. I hope you had a wonderful day. I thought it might be a nice idea for today's video to be about planting seeds. Now, what I have with me are a collection of seeds that I've got from my local library, and I thought it might be a nice time. It seems like the perfect time to start planting these. But without getting right into it, I would first like to say thank you so much for all of the positivity and the wonderful kind words that you have sent to me in my comments on my first video. That makes me so happy. I'm so happy that you all really enjoyed the video and what I was talking about, and so I want today to be just as relaxing. So, similarly to the previous video, I have a camera where I'll be showing you what I'm doing, and today I actually would love to talk about another topic that I'm very passionate about, which is trees. Now, last video I mentioned my favorite tree, and in this video I want to discuss why it's so cool. And some of you may be asking what tree I'm talking about. That tree is the London plane tree. Now, while I'm talking about the London plane tree, while I talk about the London plane tree, I'm going to be giving you a tour of all the seeds that I've received, and maybe talk a little bit about why I love the seeds that I've chosen for you today. So, the milkweed. I'm very fond of the milkweed because it is a pollinator's favorite. Now, you should absolutely plant these if you love pollinators, you love butterflies. They absolutely adore milkweed. Not only that, they also come in a variety of colors. So I do have swamp pink here, and I also have butterfly orange, a fitting name. And then I also have here showy pink. It doesn't stop there. Milkweed in swamp white, and milkweed in common pink. Now, it's extremely hard for me to choose a favorite milkweed, but we'll be doing that after I give a tour of all these seeds. I also appreciate each of these milkweed varieties sort of have different personalities. For example, the butterfly orange. Look how showy it is. I feel like it has a true fiery personality. And then the swamp pink feels very royal to me. What do you think? But I do love milkweeds, but that's not all the seeds that I have. Coming into the flowers, I have the zinnia. This is the California Giant Mixed Colors zinnia. Now, zinnias are obviously very popular for the color variety. It's a beautiful spring flower. It says on the back that it blooms from summer to frost in pink, red, orange, magenta, yellow, and white. Carefree double flowers up to 5 inches on strong stems. Plants grow 24 inches to 36 inches tall. tolerates hot sun, and we must sow seeds indoors 3 to 4 weeks before planting time. Transplant after soil warms, or sow indoors when air temperatures warm in rich, well-drained soil. So, I did misspeak. I misspoke, I should say. They are the perfect summer flowers, but we will still be planting them today and then transplanting them when the soil warms. Now, this is a fan favorite, the sunflower. Now, sunflowers are so majestic, and of course they're famous for a reason. They follow the sun wherever they go. I do want to be just like a sunflower. I think it's so beautiful how they behave and how they grow together. They seem very majestic, very regal, and also very whimsical, if that's even a combination that makes sense. This packet says a tall annual plant with a large flower head consisting of numerous small individual flowers. The flowers are typically yellow but can also be orange or red. The seeds are edible and can be roasted or used to make oil. Alright. Now, when to start inside? It says to start 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date. Sow seeds half an inch deep in moisture. Seed starting mix. Keep them warm and moist. The beautiful sunflower. Who doesn't love sunflowers? Now, I adore this. Lavender. I love lavender so much. I consume so much lavender every day in my tea. So, the lavender is a perennial. It says, for the best germination, lavender seeds need cold stratification. After the seeds begin to germinate, plant them in sterile seedling mix. This may take 14 to 30 days. Transplant seeds when they have 2 sets of true leaves into a seedling mix. Lavender doesn't like to be waterlogged, so watch your watering carefully and put your seeds under a strong light source. That's lavender. Now, the way I consume lavender is by drinking it in tea. I love lavender in my chamomile tea. It is quite a popular mix for good reason, because it is lovely. Now, this is sage. Sage, another wonderful creation from the planet. Sage is known for its medicinal and culinary offerings. Sage has a variety of notes of flavor, including earthy, sweet, minty, and mild pepper. This is a perennial plant that prefers warm temperatures and full sun. Sow seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before a last spring frost, or directly outdoors after the last frost. This plant prefers well-drained and neutral soil. Water and prune regularly to promote growth. That is sage. And then we have one vegetable here, which is the winter squash. Oops. There we are. So, the winter squash Sow in rich fertile soil after danger of frost. Sow 1 to 2 seeds about 36 inches apart and cover with 1 inch of fine soil. Firm lightly and keep evenly moist. Seedlings emerge in 10 to 14 days. All right, so I believe this says I should be planting it around March to April to June. Okay, so I will be doing that as well. Now, I did want to show off this plant that has been growing. Hold on, there you go. I'm so proud of it. I'd love to show you. Oh, it's having trouble. I'll put it here. Look at this beautiful sapling. Now the saplings just appeared about 3 days ago, or was it 2 days? 2 days ago. And I got so excited seeing these saplings. Okay, now I'm going to get the materials because actually before we do that, I do want to select what I'm going to plant. I do want to plant squash. Now for the milkweed. You know, I haven't tried let me see. All right. I'll try this one. Showy pink. And let's also do swamp white. And let's start with these 3, and then the rest we can decide later. But for now, I'll just be planting these. I also want to thank you all for 300 subscribers. I'm so grateful to have you all here with me and to chat with you about, well, this and that, I suppose. Seems like it's mostly nature, but we have all sorts of interests here, so I really appreciate all of the subscribers, all of the travelers that have come in and shared this little video, or this channel, I should say, not just a video. All right, let's get our cups. Oh my god, that scared me. All right, these are cups. All right, now we have our cups. I love these cups. Simple, straightforward, easy. Okay, I think I'm going to turn the camera for my hands back around. Whee! Alright, I think that makes more sense for the eyes. So, I did mention at the beginning of the video that my favorite tree is the London plane tree. I'll be making a big mess today, but we'll clean it up. Now, my fascination with the London plane tree, it began when I first saw it. I saw the bark of the tree, and if you don't know, if you're not familiar with the London plane tree, I suppose you could call it mottled bark. It's like a patchwork bark. So It's like a mosaic of different colors and textures, and I think it is so beautiful. It is so picturesque. Not only that, oh, look at the mess I'm making. Not only that, but the London plane tree also is really, really big. London plane trees are very big trees. They're often used on the side of a road. I should say they're used to line the streets. And when I did more research, on the London plane tree, I realized that they're so much cooler than they even look. Okay. My next step will be cleaning up my mess. Well, here is the reality of gardening at your desk. Well, actually, let me pose a question to you all. Would you watch a video that is filmed outside of my desk that is ASMR in nature? That's something that I haven't tried. Okay, now it's still a mess, but it'll do. Gardening is meant to be messy. It is meant to be messy, and I stand by that. Okay, now we have our cups. I want to talk a little bit about the London plane tree, Platanus X acerfolia. Now, I mentioned that the London plane tree is often featured on the sides of the roads. And there's a reason why. Well, I should say there are many reasons why. Alright, so 1/4 inch under. I can do that. We'll just eyeball it. How many? 12 inches to 18 inches apart. Okay, so we'll just put 1 in here. Now, there are many reasons why the London plane tree is the choice to grow on the side of the road. And there's a pretty neat history behind that. Now, back in, I believe, Victorian London, there grew many trees. While there were many trees growing, as at the same time where there's a lot of sort of industrial smog, the pollution that is caused by, your typical industrial vehicles and machines. No. This would make the nearby trees not very happy. They would suffer. Okay, this one was the milkweed pink. I'm just labeling this MWP. I need a real marker. This will not do. P. Okay. As I was saying, the smog from London would affect the nearby plant life, and a lot of them would suffer greatly for it. But the one tree that did not suffer was the London plane tree, and that's when I discovered how resilient this tree is. So 1 to 2 seeds about 36 inches apart. Oh, they're big. Look how big these seeds are. There's a bit of dirt on my nails. I'm very sorry. Perhaps I should have worn gloves for this endeavor. Okay, let me put this to the side. Now, this is when I learned about the resilience of the London plane tree. Now, why did the London plane tree survive and do just fine in these conditions? And the reason is actually that pretty bark that I was telling you about, that beautiful mosaic bark. Okay, this one was the winter squash. WSQ. Now, the mosaic bark, something that I think is very cool about the London plane tree bark, it is mosaic for a reason. And that's so cool. In fact, it sort of absorbs the pollution from around the air, and when the bark absorbs that pollution, the bark will fall off and the tree itself remains unaffected. Okay. Same as the other. Perfect. Now, let me put the seeds in. Alright, cover that up. Okay. And so that is what I think very fascinating lore about the beautiful London plane tree. And how cool is that? The feature that makes it stand out actually adds to its strength. I think there's a lot to learn from that. I believe that each of us has a unique trait, and that trait is not just unique, but I believe it is wonderful as well. And sometimes we don't realize how wonderful it is because we are, I suppose, conditioned to believe that it is not wonderful. I know that sometimes the world makes us feel as though that is not special, but I assure you that it is. I do believe that the London plane tree would totally agree with me. I do want to water these, but they do have holes in the bottom. So, did I label this? I didn't. Yeah, I know that the water will leak through. This one is milk milkweed pink or milkweed white. Okay, so I suppose to give us a little bit of satisfaction, because I think it is very satisfying to see soil become moisturized. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, it's already flowing out. Well, maybe that was a bad idea, but I don't regret it. Okay. Alright, well, I'll let these soak in, and I'll water them a little bit more when I sign off. But once again, I hope the goal is that you are relaxed. I hope you're very relaxed. And if you intend this to help you sleep, I hope you are soundly sleeping. Thank you so much to everyone for the support on this journey. Feel free to follow my Patreon for more content, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. If not, I have a lot of plans, and I have a lot to yap about. Now, without further ado, traveler, I will let you be on your way, but I'm happy that I got to share this time with you. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day.